If you want to understand where the WNBA really is right now, who's winning, who's losing, and which brands are betting big on the future, all you have to do is look at two names, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. On one side, you've got Caitlin Clark walking into Nike's world headquarters in Beaverton and getting treated like basketball royalty. On the other, you've got Angel Reese watching her Reebok signature line sink to clearance racks, while people inside the company quietly question whether to keep backing her at all. The gap between those two realities is massive, and it says a lot about how the basketball world views both of them. Let's start with what Nike just did for Caitlin, because it honestly looked more like a coronation than a normal sponsor visit. When she arrived at campus, she didn't just stroll into a building, do a quick tour, and have lunch with a marketing rep like most athletes. The entire place was decked out in Caitlin Clark branding. Employees lined the halls to clap her in. There were custom cookies with her logo, coffee cups with her initials, and massive banners with her face hanging everywhere you looked. People who've been around Nike a long time said the only other athletes they could remember getting that kind of full building takeover were true global icons. We're talking Michael Jordan-type treatment. That's the level of investment we're dealing with here. It wasn't subtle. It was Nike saying, "This is our next foundational star." Even the little moments showed how comfortable she is in that spotlight. At one point, she's taking shots on a mini hoop with staffers, joking that if she makes one, everyone gets a day off. She missed, but the way she handled it, laughing, relaxed, confident, is exactly the kind of natural charisma brands dream about. It felt like she already owned the building. From there, Nike immediately plugged her into their biggest basketball marketing platform of the year, Christmas Day. Their From Anywhere campaign rolled out during those nationally televised NBA games, and they built the entire thing around Caitlin Clark. They didn't tuck her in as an extra guest star behind a bunch of NBA guys. She was one of the headliners, right alongside huge crossover names like Travis Scott, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, and Michael Che. The From Anywhere theme wasn't random either. It was built around exactly what makes her so special on the court, her absurd shooting range and her ability to pull up from 30-plus feet like it's a free throw. Nike leaned into that, framing her as somebody who doesn't just play within the normal boundaries of the game, but stretches what people think is even possible. And behind all the commercials and campus hype, there's the business side. Nike's deal with Caitlin is reported at 8 years and $28 million, the richest shoe contract ever given to a women's basketball player. That alone is historic. But what really turns heads in the industry is what happened next. A senior Nike executive, Elliott Hill, put his own money on the line and bought about $1 million worth of Nike stock right after Clark's signature deal was finalized. That move sent a clear signal both inside the company and to investors. They're not just checking a box by signing her. They genuinely believe she's going to grow their business in a major way. Nike isn't treating her as just another athlete in the portfolio. They're building a whole strategy around her, rethinking their women's basketball division, reimagining how they market to young fans, and positioning her as the face of that shift. Now, put that next to what's happening with Angel Reese and Reebok, and the contrast is honestly brutal. When Reebok first announced Reese as one of the faces of their basketball comeback, there was a lot of buzz. She was coming off that big LSU championship run, she was a walking double-double, and she had a huge social media following. On paper, it made sense to bet on her as somebody who could move product. But months after her signature shoe released, the reality at retail is ugly. Pairs that were supposed to be limited and in demand are sitting on shelves untouched. Stores are marking them down, then slashing prices again, just trying to get them out of inventory. They've shown up on clearance racks and discount websites at significantly reduced prices, and even then, they're not moving the way a star signature line is supposed to. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark-branded Nike Kobe colorways have quietly turned into the most worn shoes in the entire NBA. In December alone, her Nike Kobe 6 Pro Tro colorway logged over 2,400 minutes of NBA game time. Another one, her Indiana Fever-themed Kobe 5 Pro Tro, ranked near the top of the league as well. Across the league, top guards and wings are choosing her PEs for real games, not just pre-game tunnels. Even Steph Curry has been spotted wearing her Kobe colorways. When NBA players, the harshest critics of performance footwear, are choosing to hoop in your designs, that's the ultimate endorsement. Reese's shoes, in contrast, are basically invisible on professional courts. You don't see star WNBA players lacing them up, and you definitely don't see NBA guys wearing them. That's a huge problem for a performance line. Serious hoopers vote with their feet, and right now they're voting heavily for Caitlyn-associated products, not Reebok's Angel Reese models. Inside Reebok, according to people close to the situation, there's real concern. The company spent good money building a campaign around Reese, expecting her profile and personality to generate serious loyalty and purchases. Instead, the numbers appear to be falling way short of projections. That's led to quiet conversations about pulling back marketing support and potentially finding a way out of the deal before more damage is done. The way brands see it, it's not just about whether a shoe looks good, it's about what the athlete represents to consumers. Reese's public image over the last year has been messy. She's had on-court incidents that rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way, clashes with opponents, and very public frustration anytime Caitlin Clark's name gets mentioned ahead of hers.
The Forbes list that named Caitlin Clark the most marketable athlete in women's sports reportedly hit a nerve. People around the Chicago Sky say Reese did not take that ranking well at all. The recognition symbolized exactly what sponsors are seeing. Clark's combination of insane production, relatability, and professionalism is incredibly attractive commercially. With Reese, the narrative has become more about drama, grudges, and confrontations than about basketball growth and positive energy. Brands aren't oblivious to that. Corporate partners want athletes who make their logos look good. They can handle competitiveness and strong personalities, but what they can't afford long-term is someone whose name repeatedly shows up in negative headlines, social media arguments, and polarizing interviews. Every time that happens, the marketing team has to ask, is this helping sell our product or hurting it? That's where you see the stark difference between the two. Caitlin Clark is building her value on talent plus character. Fans feel like they know her. They've watched her grind at Iowa. They've seen her handle insane spotlight pressure. They've watched her compete like crazy without constantly turning it into personal beef. That's the kind of story people want to buy into. Now take a look at what Nike is doing next with her signature line, and you start to understand why they went all in. On the New Heights podcast, Caitlin casually dropped a detail that had sneakerheads' ears perk up immediately. She said her first true signature shoe, slated for spring 2026, is being built with technology Nike has never used in a basketball shoe before. Not recycled tech, not a spin-off, new innovation specifically for her model. She talked about demanding full-length cushioning, not just in the heel like some of the Kobe models she's worn. From her perspective, the way she plays, deep pull-ups, explosive first steps, sharp deceleration, means her entire foot needs responsive cushioning from toe to heel. That's a level of performance feedback most athletes either don't know how to articulate or don't have the clout to demand this early in their careers. But Nike is listening. They've brought her directly into the design process, not just to sign off on colorways, but to weigh in on structure, materials, and how the shoe feels under real game load. She's testing prototypes, giving detailed feedback, and shaping what that final product becomes. That's a far cry from the old model where a brand drops a nearly finished shoe in front of an athlete and says, "Here's your signature, pick a color." Sneaker insiders are already predicting that once this thing hits the market, it could easily become a $100 million business on its own and rank among the top signature lines in all of basketball, men's or women's. Given how quickly her PEs have taken over NBA courts and how rabid her fan base is, that doesn't sound crazy. And again, this all loops back to the same big idea: performance plus personality, talent plus trustworthiness. Nike sees someone they can build years of campaigns around without worrying she's going to blow up the brand on social media. That trust is priceless. Reebok, on the other hand, is reportedly dealing with retailers who don't even want to stock Angel Reese's shoes anymore. There have been reports of store managers pushing back, saying customers complain when they see her name on products and don't respond well to the branding. When your wholesale partners start sending that kind of feedback upstream, every meeting inside the company about that deal suddenly feels very different. The financial side makes the stakes obvious. Reebok put real money and marketing behind Reese, expecting a certain sales curve. Instead, they're staring at unsold inventory, disappointing numbers, and a brand association that's gotten more controversial as time goes on. That's exactly the scenario shoe companies are desperate to avoid. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is not just thriving with Nike, she's becoming one of the most influential players in the entire sneaker ecosystem. Her colorways are dominating NBA usage charts. Her signature will likely be one of the biggest launches of 2026, and every time she steps on the court, you can almost feel the value of that investment increasing. We're watching two opposite trajectories unfold in real time. Clark is being elevated as the face of a $100 million plus vision for women's basketball at Nike. Angel Reese, at least from the endorsement side, looks like she's sliding further away from that top tier, to the point where her main shoe partner is rumored to be looking for a way out. For brands, the lesson here is loud and clear. It's not enough to be talented or popular for a moment. You have to be someone consumers actually want to support long term. Fans will buy what they feel good about. Right now, they feel great about Caitlin Clark. They clearly don't feel that way about Angel Reese's current image. So the big question becomes this: if Reebok does decide to quietly walk away from Angel Reese, is that justified based on how things have unfolded? Or do you think brands should ride out the storm and stick by their athletes longer even when the numbers and the headlines are this rough? Let me know in the comments where you stand on it. And if you're planning to grab Caitlin's first true signature when it drops in 2026, I want to hear what you're expecting from that shoe too.